If you're getting newer to the real estate industry, you just started, you're looking to get started, or you're just more experienced in the agent career and you're just like, look, I just feel like my head's not in the right place and you're struggling, then this is the video for you. I'm going to cover like my bad mindsets that I put myself in, where I've realized I'm just having a wrong mindset and what I need to do to move forward. And let's get to it. What's up, everyone? My name is Cameron Hodge, a realtor here with eXp Realty. And on this channel, I talk about everything I've learned in my past 2 years as an agent, talk about eXp Realty, and this is just my experience as I progress in this career. And with that, I always have people reaching out about joining eXp Realty, or even those that are on the fence or just want to have a talk with someone who is like-minded with them. And if that is you, then reach out, call, text, email, whatever you have to do. I have your back when moving to eXp Realty, or just being there to kind of have a conversation and just kind of join this tribe. Also, if you want to be notified every time we drop a new video, hit the subscribe button and then hit that little bell icon so you can be notified every time I drop a new video. So mindset, we all hear it. There's a lot of like like hoopla about it, and everyone gets really big into it. It does have a part to play. I'm not the type of person to sit here and be like, oh yeah, you gotta do the perfect thing, everything's perfect, and like, look, I'm human. I have my good days, I have my bad days. I think I'm gonna cover kind of like how I progressed mentally in the last 2 years coming up to this point, and kind of just some issues I saw and like mindset I put myself into. So obviously when I started, I think I'm like most of us in that I was just excited. I'm like, man, it's gonna be great to make all this money. I'm gonna support my family. Like, I'm gonna be the man of the house. Like, I'm gonna do this. And I realized it's like, and then you get started and you get licensed, and then you're like, crap. Like, now I gotta, and you start to realize like the weight hits you. You start to realize all the work that you have to do. You start to get beat up a little bit. Maybe you lose some listings. You buyers ghost you. They disappear. Like, everything just like starts to crumble, like, and takes shots at you every day in and day out. Maybe you're not taking care of yourself. You start to struggle. You're like, oh man, I'm working 7 days a week, and now I'm like, my family's like, yeah, you're not spending enough time. My wife is like, her husband's like, I'm not spending enough time at home. I need to do all this, and like, and it all just kind of gets to you, and you just get like flustered and whatever. There's a lot of ways I took it. So I think for the first year, as I got licensed and also worked as an ISA, I just let it get to me. I didn't realize like the mental toll. Like, it might not be a physically hard job that we do, but the career is very mentally exhausting, especially like when, in this current market, like in multiple offers, your buyers are getting beat out. Like a lot of buyers that were hot and heavy are like, I am out, I'm going to wait. Listings are far and few between. You're like, I don't even have money. Or if you do have money to market, you're like, I'm doing this, my sphere. Like, most of them are like, hey, I'm not going to sell my house, I'm just going to rent it. The Southern California problem I ran into at that time, and still do with some people that reach out to me. They're like, oh yeah, well, I'm just going to rent it out. And I don't blame them, right? They were in a great financial spot to do so, but that plays on your mind. And I think something I should have done in the beginning is I should have been better at scheduling. Like, I'm just the type of person where I schedule and I'm very system oriented, but when it comes to my personal life, I just kind of let it go haphazardly and I don't focus on it as much as I should. And I've gotten a little bit better with setting time, saying, hey, these are my non-negotiables, my prospecting time in the morning, my Saturdays off, where like the worst part, like I am in the position where I do have to take inbound calls, but I'm not actively putting out anything for my business that day. All my clients know it, have not had any issues. But which actually leads me to my next point, which is set boundaries. So before you can even fix your mindset, you have to set up your business so you're running your business and your business is not running you. And I didn't realize that until I started having great mentors above me here at eXp, and they sat down, they're like, look, what you're feeling is okay, I've been there, but this is what you need to start doing to start setting some structure in your life. Because like, real estate's not structured, it's crazy, like, deals and all this stuff. But you'd be surprised when you start setting structure how much it gets more structured. I think that blew me away. Is you say, your clients right off the bat, you're like, hey, Saturdays I'm doing this. Emergencies are emergencies. Like, once we're in escrow, it's a different story. Monday through Friday, like, I am here for you. You call, whatever. But aside from that, like we have our set days that we're showing. Here's how the market's working. Here's like my schedule. You know, if it's past my working hours, send me a text. If I'm able to, I'll get back to it. But it is my family time, so if I don't get back to you, I will get back to you first thing in the morning, as long as it's not an emergency. And I have never had an issue with that in my past clients in the past year since implementing that. And like that's what you have to do before you can fit your mindset. The second thing that was taught to me by, you know, a lot of conferences and with the EXP, and like it's just amazing with the people that I've been a part of. And that's like, hey, like you have to realize, like mindset is like, you know, this business, it's a lot of work, but you have to set goals and you have to like understand like, where do I see myself going? Where do I want to go with this? Do I just want to be a top agent on a team and just have them take care of all that stuff? I'm just here to help the clients because that's what I love and that's all I want to do. Kind of like a job, but obviously a little bit less structured than a job for the most part. Or do I want to grow a team? Like I want to do this. My aspirations, that's my goals, and I'm working towards it to be able to be in a position to where I can actually, you know, manage a team, and I'm learning a little bit as I go and to get to that point to where I can do that. And like once you know where you want to go, how you want to get there, it's just realizing it's like, okay, like I think you have to set time. Everyone says like if you're not a morning person, I get it, but like this industry, like once it hits 8 a.m. onward, like there's people trying to pull at you. They're trying to take pieces of your day. We all have a limited time on this earth, and once it gets like daylight hours and working hours, like everyone's trying to pull pieces from you. And, you know, and I will tell you when you're starting, it's not people calling you to hire you to do work. It's gonna be people, you know, friends, family, people just want to go out on a Friday night, do all these things. And personally, like I knew where I wanted to go and I was determined to get there. So in the beginning, I just worked and learned, aside from family. And even then I didn't spend enough time as I should have. But he had a point, right? Like, and this is real honest. I'm being fully honest here. So my wife, like I'm a huge morning person, but I realized I'm like waking up with my family. I was just a more angry of a person, more grumpy of a person. I just was frustrated. I wasn't doing any self-care because I woke up and like work's getting to me. I have to do this and that and the kids and everything. And I was just losing my mind. Well, because of my wife at the time, we had not moved to Orlando yet, and we were living with my mother-in-law. So like the sleeping situation was just imperfect, having 2 kids, both under school age, and it was just chaos. But I realized, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, we have an office in the house. I'm going to set up a small bed in there, and I'm going to start waking up at 5:30 in the morning. And I started to do that. I started to realize I have time to go on a walk or exercise. I have time to journal. I have time to think about my day and plan it before it plans me. And I started to make that step. Like I know like Miracle Morning is a big thing that everyone knows about. I'm not saying that's what it has to be, but I'm saying like you need to figure out, you know, your time. And if you're like me with kids, waking up in that morning just helped me get in the right headspace and the right mindset that I'm like, all right, this day's gonna be crazy, but I'm going to structure in my time, my non-negotiables, and my number one asset, you know, my number one income producing activity that I need to accomplish that day. Like even today, I'm shooting this video. This is part of the thing that I have in my schedule. You know, I did my prospecting in the morning. I have my YouTube channel that I shoot videos for and run over the analytics. And this time of day, it's working on this channel, along with at 1 p.m. I have a meeting daily with my VA, who is my video editor and runs all my channels for me on the back end, and also soon to be social media in time, potentially, obviously with work given and all the other stuff that I'm looking to do, work in progress. But those are my non-negotiables. I have my prospecting time, 2 hours minimum in the morning. I have around 12 to 3 is like admin time. Anything after 3 on weekdays is listing appointments and showings. Like that's the time set aside, and then I try to be done by 7 every day to be with my family. Obviously, because I'm in a position where I'm still the one taking inbound calls. That just happens. At 9 p.m. I do shut off my phone. For the most part, people aren't going to call you that late, but it does happen, especially since I have license in 2 different states and there's 2 different time zones. So even on the East Coast here, like 3 hours behind, it kind of goes a little bit later. But that's a risk, and we already talked about it as a family, so it's okay for now, and eventually it will be passed off to someone there, so I can kind of take that off my plate to be able to focus more on family. But waking up early, huge difference. I recommend it to everyone, even if you're not a morning person. Like, just understand, like, obviously we all start work, you know, by 8 a.m. onward, like there's things happening, email, all that. And waking up early, not looking at email, no social media, and just me writing out like my goals. Like I repeat my 90-day goals every day. so I know where I want to be, what I need to do. And then I also start to assess, like, hey, like, am I spending too much money in expenses because you're running a business? Am I doing this? And it allows me to get all like that, the toxic stuff out of the way that just weighs me down, or be able to get a focused mindset of where I'm going, what do I need to do, and get there and do it. So, I know this isn't like do meditate every day, yoga to get your proper mindset. Like, no, it's not that. It's just, this is tips. Like, it's not so much mindset. It's just like we already know this is a crazy industry and it's not easy. If you're looking at getting a license and you're just excited, I understand, but realize that once you get your license, one, nobody cares. And it's not in a mean way, it's not in a bad way. Like, obviously, if you have your mom or dad or wife, like, or spouse, like, I'm sure they're like pushing for you to succeed. But aside from that, honestly, like, I just, like, even my sphere, like, I had to stay in touch with these people for the last 2 years, and now they're starting to see me as that seasoned person in the market, because I've been doing it and I'm consistent. I show up every month. I have a set system in place to stay in touch with them, and they start to see, like, wow, he's bringing a lot of value. So realize in the beginning, mindset, it's not gonna be easy. Find someone who you want to emulate. Learn everything off of them, even for free or whatever you have to do. Like, I worked an hourly position, taking inbound Zillow calls, which are miserable. I don't recommend that. And doing everything for them, helping write offers, showing homes, like doing all these things that a non-licensed activity until I got licensed that I could do, and it set an amazing foundation. But I had the mindset, like, that first year especially, like, not everyone is out here to go do 50 to 100 deals their first year. We all hear it. If you've done your research about getting an agent, or even if you are currently licensed and you just haven't done that much volume, like, we understand, like, it does not take long for you to be like, one miracle person out of 100,000 agents closes 100 deals their first year, or like, I am the top 30 under 30 for the NAR. Like, ignore it. Just focus on you, focus on your goals and what you need to do there. Finally, after 2 years, I now was able to hire a coach, and it really helps keep my mind grounded in segments to know where I need to go, and it's small steps progression as long as I'm growing my database and getting there. So realize it is a slower progress getting started. It doesn't mean be lazy. It doesn't mean not work. It means, like, you got to have a mindset that it's just going to take time. It's not a get rich quick industry, but it can change your life if you do it the right way. So without that, if you have an issue with mindset, or you want to talk about it, or even if you're thinking about joining eXp Realty, I have your back. Give me a call, text, email, whatever you have to do. I am here for you. That's why I do this channel. And even if you're in a position where I can't perfectly fit on a call with you, I will bring in one of my upline partners who are in the positions, and I guarantee you I have someone that can join me on the call to help you when you're thinking about making the move. So without that, I will see you in the next video.